This time of year, people are making wish lists, especially kids, for bikes, video games, action figures, same kind of things I did when I was a child. But I think as adults, it's time to stop making wish lists and start making to-do lists for a better world. I want to see this to be a better world for my children, their children, my grandchildren, and hopefully a world where there's peace, love, and harmony, because it is Christmas, and Christmas is based on that particular theme. I have some suggestions to make, and they're found in my commentary, The Christmas Hope, a to-do list for a better world, which you should read at rutherford.org. That's rutherford.org. It's much more in depth than anything that I can go in here on this particular podcast. But here are 4 suggestions I think it would be good, general suggestions for a better world, a to-do list. Number 1, increase education and understanding. There's a lot of emphasis on the so-called 3 R's, but I think what we should be emphasizing in our educational system is understanding and how we treat people. People need to be approached with great worth and dignity. If we really want to end suffering, AIDS, and all the problems we see in the world, hunger, how we approach people and how our government approaches people is very important. The politicians that we elect too often, when they get in power, start pitting us versus them, you versus me. So while we're fighting over endlessly kind of inane issues, the political agenda moves forward, and it's usually backed by large corporations, fusing of the corporate state, where a lot of people are making a lot of money simply to increase the money in their pockets. The second suggestion I have is improve the treatment of women. Although women are the bearers of life, across the globe they are wrecked every day with sexual, emotional, and physical violence. Believe it or not, in the Eastern Congo, almost 500,000 women are raped every year, many by gangs of militia. In China, 1.5 million women will attempt suicide, many broken by abusive marriages or trauma of a forced abortion, performed because a woman failed to produce the coveted male heir. In the United States next year, 1,500 American women will be killed by an intimate. One issue we really need to focus on in the United States is sexual trafficking. Girls as young as 5 years old being used as sex objects by perverted men in this country. And the Super Bowl is right around the corner. Much of where the Super Bowl occurs, there's a lot of sexual trafficking happening. I do believe our government could stop it. It's not a top priority. So we must demand from the White House, Congress, and our state legislatures to stop sexual trafficking, which is a horrendous, horrendous crime and offense against women. A third suggestion is we should fight to end world hunger. Approximately 925 million people around the world are chronically undernourished and thoroughly incapable of obtaining sufficient sustenance, food, and the things they need to live. Believe it or not, in the United States alone, about $1 billion a year is spent just to dispose of food waste. Not only that, thousands of children in the United States go to bed every night hungry in this country, the country of so-called plenty. The homeless people. When I travel around the country, I'm shocked in American cities as I walk along at people laying on the streets, sleeping, begging for food. In my opinion, if just the religious institutions alone, the churches, the synagogues, and the mosques in America would focus on that issue, they could end homelessness and they could end hunger. It's time to act, and the time is now. My fourth suggestion this year is it's time to have a world without war. The American government, the United States, is seen as a warring empire by most of the world. The wars in Afghanistan, Iraq, Pakistan alone have cost this country $4 trillion so far. Just think if you took 1/4 of that money spent and put it to helping the abuse of women, feeding hungry kids, and all the problems we see in the world, what could be changed? Take half of that money and see what we could do. We could do a lot, but we're not doing it. So we can do a lot to change things. It's a to-do list. And as I emphasize to people in the United States, our Constitution starts with those 3 beautiful words. We, the people. We can do things, but we have to work together. We don't need to be fighting one another. We need to stand up for our rights and stand up for those who are trying to resist a system that I think is out of control. So it's up to us to make a better world. In the words of the Reverend Martin Luther King in his Christmas sermon of 1967, the Christmas hope for peace and goodwill toward all men can no longer be dismissed as a kind of pious dream of some utopian. If we don't have goodwill toward men in this world, we will destroy ourselves by misuse of our own instruments and our own power. Wisdom born of experience should tell us that war is obsolete. We must either learn to live together as brothers, or we are going to perish together as fools.